Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, April the 16th, the year's 2024. Let's talk trading. How to. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. You're probably thinking, how to what? How about how to anything? Because most of the questions and correspondence I get, that's the topic. How to. How do I? Because, traders want to learn, or people want to learn. But the thing is, most things that you learn are simple. The how to. So, what makes it difficult? Well, actually, the person learning usually makes it difficult for themselves, because there's many things they do or they don't do that make it difficult. I mean, sure, there are some things that are more difficult than others, but once again, a lot of the problems can be found when you look in the mirror, And as always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And just a quick reminder about risk management. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one particular trade. Now, this is one of the how-tos. We've been over this, more than once. And that's part of learning, doing things more than once, repetition. And one of the ways, or one of the how-tos, is lots of repetition. Some people just give up way too soon. I mean, it's like walking. You don't get it right the first or second time. As an infant, as a baby, you were crawling around and walking and falling over, and you just kept doing it till you finally got it. And the thing is, with walking, you only have the two legs, right? Hopefully you have the two legs and you don't have anything else wrong. Your nerves and your body chemistry permit you to walk. Some people aren't that lucky and they can't walk. But for, I think, the majority of the planet, we can walk. Now, you might be going, oh, come on, Rumpled One. You're talking about walking. I want to learn how to trade. Well, it's the same thing. See, with trading, the difference is there's so many different methods. And what happens is traders will bounce from method to method because, for whatever reason, the method they picked, as far as they're concerned, that doesn't work. But somebody's using that method and it's working for them. In some cases, maybe the instructions or the instructor aren't clear and they have problems with it. And I can understand that. Maybe the trader just never took the time to fully understand the method. And yesterday, as I thought was going to happen, we had an inside bar, one of the horizontal line methods. you see the inside bar low right there. And you see price went down below it, but now it's above it. So well, let's just take a look, see here. So I guess this was about midnight. So if you were trading the London session, it looked like there was an opportunity to go short at 124.28, which is really close to 124.25, that psychological line. We had a low of 08, so there's 20 pips to grab. Now, if you didn't grab them, market took it back. And so sometimes traders want to know, well, how do I know when to take profit? Because when I get out of the trade, it keeps going in my direction, and if I stay in, it seems to go against me. Well, maybe you're looking at it the wrong way, or maybe there's a better way to look at it. You might be looking at it one way, but there might be a better way to look at it. So if that happens to you, but you notice that, and every time you trade, you could have made 2 pips. Maybe you should just take 2 pips, because if you listen to what I just said, if every time you trade you could have made 2 pips, well, those 2 pips in 5 trades, that's 10. Is that what you wanted for the day, 10 pips? You know, in 10 trades, that's 20. How many trades do you make a day? And, one of the things when I went over the exit playbook, this was years ago, I talked about it. Even I think I talked about it before I wrote the indicator. Sometimes price is moving quickly, sometimes it's moving slowly, sometimes it's doing what it normally does. And the thing is, you have to define normal, and the only way you can really know that is seat time, watching it for extended periods of time. And I'm flipping back and forth charts just so you can see the various methods, these horizontal lines. And so you look here, you wonder, is price going up or down? I'm seeing here's a lower high and a lower low slightly, but now it's moved back up. This looks like it's right now, this looks like it's an inside bar on M30. It's already covered the previous M30 candle. And just in case you're tuning in, what I mean by cover is if you look at the previous candle and you see the open and the close, or the top and the bottom, the high is greater than the top, the low is less than the bottom. I call that covering. It covered the previous candle's body. And that's just one of the things I look for. And so if I pick a direction, sometimes I'll think, well, needs to cover the body. And sometimes I think, well, it's probably going to break out and not cover the body. And sometimes you just have to let things happen. So for example, give it some time. Right here we had a high, or rather a close above the previous high. That's a breakout. And a lot of times the next candle will continue on. Well, you see here, the next candle did an inside bar, but then it broke and then it made the move. So depending on where your stop loss was, you might have had to sit in that trade for an hour, but it would have paid off. And that's one of those ones where the how-to, that's a self-taught. Nobody told me that. I just from observation. And so I can pass those things along. And then you can either, put that in your trading arsenal as something to look for, or say, no, that's not, I don't want to trade that. And it's just like here, we're looking at the buy zone. One of the first methods that I came up on my own. I came up with that on my own. That wasn't anybody else. I just, from looking at these charts back when I was trading stocks and just noticing the price behavior of the stocks, it was like, wait a minute. Everybody was saying, oh, you should never trade at the open. It's, blah, blah, blah. Well, I found out that's where the action and volume was. And I say, well, maybe they said that because they didn't want any competition. Because in stocks, unlike foreign exchange, depending on which stock you pick, there's not that many shares out there. There's some that are very thinly traded. They only trade a few thousand a day, as opposed to millions of shares per day. So, and I just noticed that, if you trade at near the open price, that it's going to make a high of the day, it's going to make a low of the day. So when it's near that open, it usually moves away from the open by a certain number of pips, or in that case, a certain number of cents and dollars. And so I noticed in some stocks, and I found the stocks that did it the most, where if it moved, between 10 and 20 cents, chances are it was going to move 50 cents. And for me, it was like, if I have 1,000 shares and it moves 10 cents, I just made $100. It was really simple. And it still is simple. And then I learned, find that one stock and milk it like a cow. Just go every day and do it. And that's why I started calling it milking the cows. Because you had to get up early, because I was on West Coast time or Mountain time. And that's what I did. So, the how-to is you really learn all you can about a single method, a single instrument that you trade, and then find what works for you. You can answer a lot of those questions for yourself. But I mean, right here, you see it came down, it touched the buy zone. Now it's about, 8 pips away from it. And yes, that candle was red. It was an M30 candle, but he could have looked at a different time frame, a 1 minute or 5 minute. But you see here, what are these bottom wicks tell you? It's telling you that buyers want to push the price up from around here. And so you look here, look at how many. So it's pushed above this line right there, that high. It's dipped below it, 3 times on the chart, but for some reason it's pushing back up. It's just observation. And so, how-to, it's just sitting down, doing it over and over, figuring it out. Could have made those 2 pips and then some. So, fellow traders, we'll probably revisit how-to. Walmart, I think, might be back tomorrow. So, remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the bank.